You are listening to the Everything Goes podcast, coming to you all the way from the City of Angels, Los Angeles, LA. My name is Gus, and on this week's episode, we got RC back on the show, and we are talking about comic books, Marvel, DC, Marvel movies, DC movies, comic books, all that good stuff. But yeah, that's what we're talking about, guys, and I hope you guys enjoy the show. What's up, everybody? This is Gus with the Everything Goes podcast. What's up, RC?
What's up, Gus? What's up?
Nice to have you back in the show, dude. It's been a while.
Yeah, it has. It has, and thank you for having me again.
Let's talk about you, man, because we haven't had you on the show for a bit, man. So, how are your Clippers doing? How's life?
You know what? Clippers are doing good. I'm not worried. We lost 2 close games before the All-Star break.
Yeah.
But they're doing good, you know. It's gonna be a good playoff this season for NBA.
I gotta ask this too, though. It's still Laker town.
Yeah,
is it still Laker town?
You know what? It still is, but there's a lot of fans out there, Clippers now that you're starting to see more. Like last time I went to go buy a hat at Lids, and it surprised me how low the hats were.
Really?
Like people were actually moving. Before 2-3 years ago, they used to move, but it wasn't really going. But right now you're starting to see it everywhere. Like you see Lakers and then you see Clippers stuff. Like if you go to the sporting goods and all that stuff. Yeah. And before all you used to see is Lakers. So they're doing so. You know, it's coming in slowly.
So let me ask you this. We're talking about the Clippers, and we're talking about basketball. Were you a Laker fan or whatsoever? Ever?
A little bit when Magic Johnson.
Oh, okay.
That's like
Showtime.
like back in the days. But then after that, I stopped liking them. Some certain players were too.
What, are you talking about Kobe or what?
No. Even before Kobe, they were just got too flamboyant. They were too just
Showtime.
Yeah. Just some of the players I were, so I stopped watching it, and I just started following the underdog, the Clippers.
How about did you feel anything for Kobe when he passed away?
Oh yeah, definitely. And anytime anyone passes away, you know, and especially what he's done, you know, for basketball and stuff, and for his family as well, everybody that he knows, you know, in his personal life, and
that shit sucked.
And the other 8 victims too, you know, everybody. It's the way it happened. It sucks, you know.
It's a tragic thing.
Yeah.
But did you know that the same helicopter, the same pilot, is the same one that Kawhi Leonard uses?
Yeah. I knew that they interviewed him.
Yeah, and he was tripping. He was like, God, that could have been me.
Yeah, because he said that sometimes he used to pick him up in the morning, and then he used to pick up Kobe after.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. You know, they used to pick up Kobe, and then they used to pick him up. So, yeah, they used to share the same helicopter and pilot.
Damn, that sucks, dude. That sucks.
It is.
Damn. I mean, it hit me hard, but, God. Well, let's move on because we want to just talk about good stuff now.
Yeah.
I mean, better news, I guess.
Yeah.
But one more thing, I really got to tell you because you're a big Charger fan. What's going on with your Chargers, man?
It was a tough year. You know, it's a disappointment because last year they had a great season. Most of the players came back. Yeah. Key players got injured early, but you can really make excuses. And, you know,
a lot of close games with you guys all the time. It's just, you guys can't get over the hump, man. And now you guys lost Rivers. He's done. He's done.
No, he's done. I knew it was going to happen this year.
God.
And we'll see. Hopefully, the rumor is Tom Brady, but hopefully they get a young guy, a young player, a young QB from college.
I don't get it. Why would they even consider bringing Tom Brady? What Rivers only 36, 37?
Yeah.
Maybe is he a little older or what?
No. I think he's might be 1 year younger, but that's just the success that Brady has had. You know
he's 40 already.
Yeah, but winning Super Bowl. Oh, he wasn't that bad last year, but
no, he wasn't. It's because he looks like Marino on 2 legs. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
No movement. Always get pissed off.
But he could still
sling it. Yeah.
So if they do it, I think it'll probably be a move just because of the new stadium. That's the only reason I'll see it. They'll be like, oh, you know, let's bring Tom Brady to a new stadium. He plays for 2 years. Makes sense, you know.
Yeah.
But I'd rather them get a rookie. Even if they pick up Tom Brady, I would like them to their first rounders still get a QB.
And there's a lot of a lot of good receivers coming out this year,
but I still want him so he could train with Brady.
Yeah.
Those 2 years, and then 2 years he could start playing.
All right. Well,
You know?
damn. Well, that's it.
Yeah.
Well, let's get back into the conversation.
Okay.
You know, that's something I should have put at the beginning, but now I'm gonna have to edit and flip
Fix
it.
it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's go back to. Yeah, man. Well, hey, let's talk about comic books because that's what we got you here for. You're an enthusiast for comic books, dude, as I am.
Who's not?
Right.
Who wouldn't like comic books? You know, it's pretty cool. You know, superheroes. People have strength, abilities.
Yeah.
You know, so it's pretty cool. Let's talk about it.
I remember growing up, I always wanted to be a superhero. I don't know, but when did it become cool to be a geek? Because I remember back in our day, at least for me, back in the 90s, it was considered to be a geek to be following comic books.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? I don't know if you remember that aspect because you're a little bit younger than me, but
Yeah, I do, but I think it wasn't. People just didn't want to admit it that they like comics, and I think everybody has like comic books. You know, if you could ask a lot of people, like they used to collect baseball cards and stuff, they all had comic book cards as well. You know, comic books, but it's something that no one talked about it, but people like comics.
see, because now comic books, it's in the mainstream. It's mainstream stuff now. It's cool to be a comic book geek or just love comic book characters and all that stuff. And even people that don't know comic books, they don't even know that some of these characters, like the Marvel movies, are comic book characters. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know. When did it become cool?
Oh, for me, it's first before the movies. I think was that the Marvel versus Capcom video game.
Yeah.
So when that video game came out and it was all Marvel heroes and Capcom, everybody was playing it. He used to go to any arcade and used to see it, and we were like, wow, there's a lot of people that knew the character names, you know, the powers.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that was one step of it, but then the movies just mainstream it like crazy.
Oh,
And yeah.
that's a big thing because the movies are big now. Marvel movies are just killing it, where DC is just, oh man, they're killing their own movies. I don't know if you saw the new Birds of Prey movie that's out right now.
I've heard mixed reviews, but
I heard it's pretty good.
Yeah,
But it's not doing well in the
it's
box offices.
I don't know, Harley Quinn is a good character.
Yeah.
But I don't think people know her as much as like a main main character itself to carry it. So it's one of those type of movies that kind of like Guardian of the Galaxy, like those characters people don't really know about it, and then it's just word of mouth, and then people started following them a little more.
But the Guardians of the Galaxy movies are good.
Yeah.
And they're funny, and now they're big. They're big now. I didn't know them. I was one of those people that didn't want to go watch. I was like, who are these guys? Like, I wasn't, because they came after my era, I think.
Yeah.
They're like one of the newer characters from Marvel, I think.
Yeah, but that's why I think it's the word of mouth. Like, people were like, oh, the movie's actually good, so it started going around. So, like I said, Birds of Prey, I've heard mixed reviews. And so I got to see the movie myself before I judge it, because there's something that people don't like that I like, you know. So I haven't seen it. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't. I mean, it came out, a week ago or something?
Yeah.
So, not yet. I wanted to, but then I hear all these bad things. I'm like, oh, man, never mind. Never mind. Goddamn, DC did it again. But you're a big DC fan, no? Are you a big DC fan?
No, yeah. I do appreciate DC, but DC, it seems like they hit their TV shows really good. Like the Flash TV show is good. Green Arrow is good. When they did Superman 2, they've done quite a few shows, but you know, like there's a few Superman shows they've done that. Like Smallville was pretty cool, and then there's, you know, the Batman show, Gotham. Yeah. And Fox 11 is good.
I like Gotham.
Yeah. I like it's dark, but it has good stories. You know this.
That's the thing with Batman. Batman is dark on itself.
Yeah.
He's the only one that I consider that should be dark.
Yeah.
Where the rest of DC should not be dark.
No.
Am I right?
No,
I think that's one of the reasons.
I agree. But I think DC, when they make their movies, I think they're trying to do or replica what Marvel's kind of doing. But they cannot do that because the universes are very different. You know, the characters, everything is different, and you cannot really copy what they're doing because it doesn't come out right.
Where the Marvel, it's happening at the same time. That's why they call it the Marvel universe. That's very
Yeah,
smart.
but they already have an idea. They already got their vision. You know,
Yeah.
where DC, you could tell that they don't really got the vision what they want to do with their
Yeah.
character. That's the difference of
Give it a-
both studios.
The first time you picked up a comic book. When was it? Where did you pick it up? Did you go to a comic book store?
No, I remember first time it was my cousin. My cousin was a big comic book fan. I didn't even know that. I just remember once go visiting, and then I went to his room, and he had comics, like crazy comic books,
Really?
like boxes.
Oh, dude, that was it.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
me.
but
That was me.
boxes of just comic books,
Yeah.
boxes of just comic cards, and then boxes of toys.
Oh, all right.
And I was like, "Oh wow, this is pretty cool." And then he started telling me about the comics and the characters, this and that. And then he showed me a comic book, and then that's when I started. I read it, and then I decided to go to the comic book store after. Yeah,
Okay, because back then they were actually called comic book stores,
Yeah.
not hobby stores, what they call it. Because you don't see very much comic book stores anymore. You see them being called hobby stores
yeah,
or baseball card stores, and they have comic books here and there, some of them. But back in my day, early 90s, that's when I started, late 80s, late 90s.
yeah,
It was a whole big thing. I would go in the comic book store,
yeah.
and they would have arcades in there, and they would sell baseball cards.
Yeah.
It was the opposite. Baseball cards, you just buy the things, but the main thing was the comics.
Comics, yeah.
Where it's the opposite now. The main thing is like the sports now, and then the comics are there now. But I don't know. Do you see that? Have you ever seen that?
No, yeah. Oh, back in the days, like I said, that's what I say, comic book store.
Yeah.
because it was a comic book store, and then they had like little other, like we're from the '90s, so they had Pogs and the other little stuff like that. And but now it's more like, I think for a little time it changed to sports because people started collecting cards more and stuff like that. But right now, I seen more comics now than sports cards now.
All right.
I think it's changed back to what it was, but it doesn't say comic book store. But I think they.
I mean, you see
push
some of
comics
them
more.
popping here and there,
Yeah.
but not like I remember back when I was growing up.
Oh yeah, there was everywhere.
Yeah, they were
Oh,
everywhere.
yeah.
Yeah, they were very popular. I mean, I'm pretty sure the movies have something to do with that too.
Oh yeah.
Where now it's cool and it's out there now, and it's very popular with people and comic book people.
But that makes a difference when you see it visually,
Yeah.
and especially how they're making the movies with these graphics and storylines. So of course it's gonna do something.
Yeah. Hey, so when you first walked in, or when you actually first bought your first comic book,
Yeah,
what was it? Which one was it?
X-Men.
X-Men.
Yeah, because my cousin he was big X-Men fan. He
Who
had
was it?
everything.
Who was it?
Huh?
I was too. I was a big X-Men.
Yeah,
Who was it?
Who was it? Yeah, even to this day,
Yeah.
even when there's Spider-Man, there's Hulk, there's Thor, Fantastic Four, Batman, Superman. Even though you got all these options.
Yeah.
To me, it was X-Men.
Who was your
It's
favorite
just-
X-Men? Who's your favorite X-Men?
I could say two, but I'll go with Beast. I like Beast.
You like the Beast?
Yeah,
Damn.
I like Beast, and then went to Wolverine.
Oh, I was a big Wolverine
Yeah,
fan.
yeah.
See, that's the thing. These are the two comic books I adored. I had the X-Men,
Yeah,
and then I had the Wolverine comic books.
Yeah.
And I'd follow Wolverine because he's a big. Damn, I love them, dude.
oh,
I
who doesn't? Everybody.
God, I just feel that they didn't do him no justice in the movies, though, man.
Yeah.
I mean, they were good for the time, but I think nowadays they should like reboot it and bring them back with rated R kind of stuff, though.
Yeah.
And because he was one of those killers. He didn't give a damn. He was rude.
Yeah.
So
And it's crazy how you talk about the rudeness, because even when the TV show, the cartoon
Yeah.
TV show came out in Fox 11,
yeah.
it was they still portrayed him rude and like when Professor X, when everyone tried to stop him, he was like, "Yeah, just get out of my way. I'm leaving. You don't tell me what to do."
It's funny that we have the Disney thingy now, the
Yeah.
Disney streaming service, and we started watching them. My kids be watching them now. My youngest,
Yeah,
and I was like, damn, I used to watch these cartoons.
on Disney Plus, right?
Yeah.
I've been watching them myself, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, dude, because
Yeah.
I grew up in that, and like I said, X-Men is I enjoy them. Out of all the comics, it's X-Men for me.
Yeah. Okay, well, we talked about the X-Men. We talked about your favorite.
Okay.
Who are your favorite characters? Let's talk about your favorite characters, because, God, there's so many out there, bro. We would get into this, man.
I could say, like I said, Beast, Wolverine, Iceman, I like Bishop. He's also X-Men. Mr. Sinister. Some villains that talk about Captain America, the Hulk, cause Batman, Joker definitely.
DC.
Superman. Yeah, I'm going DC too because it's what we're talking about.
Characters.
Talking about comics, so I'll name it from both. You know.
Yeah.
Juggernaut. You know, I like Juggernaut villains too because there's some cool villains out there that you're like, it's pretty cool.
I like what they did to Juggernaut in the movie though, with
Deadpool.
With Deadpool, he came out pretty cool, right?
Yeah, that one is better than the other one that betrayed him on the first X-Men trilogy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But this one was a good.
Because that's the way he is. He don't give a damn, and he's a big, almost kind of like a big bully, almost.
Yeah. It's crazy because I like how they betrayed him on that one.
Yeah.
And then the other one they betrayed him like he was too. It didn't feel like Juggernaut. It was like
Juggernaut.
They had him kind of rude, but it didn't betray the character as well. But it's Juggernaut and Iron Man. There's a lot of characters, like a lot of characters that came out.
I was not been a big Iron Man fan, but
the
movies made him a really very popular guy, character. I meant like, if you tell me who's my favorite character in the movies, I'll tell you it's him.
Yeah.
It's Iron Man and Tony Stark. But in the comic books, it's different. The comic book world, I'll tell you, different because I think the comic book world is a little bit different than the movie. I thought he was a little bit boring in the comic book world compared to the movies.
Yeah, because in the movies they're portraying him, they're portraying him but you see it visually, so it's different.
Yeah.
And then Penguin is cool, the Riddler, Deadpool, of course.
Well, give me your top 5. Okay, if it's not in X-Men, give me your top 5 Marvel guys.
Top 5 Marvel, not DC?
Yeah, Marvel. Let's go with Marvel first.
Marvel, I'll put Beast, Wolverine, Juggernaut. I'll put Captain America. I'll put the Hulk.
Oh, the Hulk.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that you bring that up, I want to go back to Captain America and we're going to go back to the Hulk. Yeah. I'm going to tell you where I got introduced to the Hulk. I was probably 2 years old. My brother got this big figure of Batman.
Yeah.
And back in those days, I'm telling you, DC was so popular. Everybody knew Batman and everybody knew Superman. Yeah. They gave my brother Batman and they gave me the Hulk. And I wanted the Batman.
You didn't want the Hulk.
I didn't want the Hulk.
You wanted to smash the Hulk, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because it was like that. I mean, DC comics or DC characters were more, they were more popular.
Oh, they had the movie too.
No, but this is mid '80s, I would say. So I was.
Yeah, but the original with the original Batman with the Joker with Nicholson, I think was made in the 70s?
No,
80s.
No, it's 80s. The best Joker ever.
Yeah.
I think it's an 88 or 89 movie, honestly. Yeah. So yeah, it was a good movie. But see, that's how popular it was. Yeah. Batman was big, dude. So when they gave my brother that one and they gave me the Hulk, I was like, who the hell is this guy? This green thing. I want that guy. I know that guy. Yeah. So I remember throwing a tantrum or something. I was just crying because I wanted that one. I didn't want the Hulk. Yeah. But now that I'm older, I love the Hulk.
Yeah.
I prefer the Hulk over Batman because I'm a big Marvel fan. Yeah. But let's go back to I remember one of the podcasts we were talking about how Captain America, again, another popular character in the movies. Captain America was, I think you're the one that told me that.
Yeah, he was part of like him and Wolverine meet in the war.
No, you're right. You're right.
And when they had the war, against Hydra and all of that, Wolverine was part of that too.
Yeah.
He was a part of the military and all that stuff. So it was Wolverine, Sabretooth, Maverick. There was a whole crew that Wolverine was rolling with.
Yeah.
And then Captain America as well was fighting his own battle. Yeah. So they do meet, And it would be cool, like, if we make a Wolverine movie and they actually had that storyline.
Like back in we're doing World War II, huh?
Yeah, when during the war where they actually fight and they kind of put them together. It would be nice to see.
Because Wolverine doesn't age at that time.
No,
he stays the same, huh? Yeah. But there are people that don't know that. Because they don't really say that in the movies. No. I think in one of the movies they make fun of his age.
That's what they do.
But don't they do in one of the movies? They do like kind of like a flashback of all the wars he's been. He's been in World War One and then in
The
World
Civil
War
War
Two. Yeah, and all
like
that stuff. Yeah.
You know which one it was? It was the worst Wolverine movie, the Wolverine Origins.
Origin. Oh, is that when he goes back to Japan?
Yeah. No. That's the first one where they put Sabretooth as his brother.
Oh, okay,
and then they made Deadpool look like Baracus from
Oh,
Mortal
I
Kombat.
remember that. I think that's actually the first Wolverine then, huh?
Yeah. It's called Wolverine
Okay,
Origins.
yeah.
That's the one where they show him during the Civil War,
Yeah,
World War One,
yeah.
World War Two. Yeah, because he's been living because his healing powers.
Yeah, he doesn't age.
Yeah.
But damn.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. And Captain America was also in one comics they do show him.
You actually told me too that Captain America was made because of the war. They made him to be the propaganda almost.
Yeah. He pretty much was.
That's what. Can you elaborate on that? Because I remember you telling me that they made that character specifically because of the war or something like that.
Yeah, because of the World War II and everything. So they made the character Captain America, and a lot of they used to send it to the soldiers, and they used to be reading about it. You know, so that's something. That's why a lot of Captain America stories are about World War II and stuff.
It's funny because have you ever seen the first Avenger? I mean, is it Captain America the First Avenger or something like that, right?
Yeah, the first Avenger.
Okay, they kind of elaborate on that where they made him look like almost like a comic book character that the soldiers wouldn't take seriously.
Yeah.
But it made him look kind of like that. That's what they were doing in real life.
They made him look like a joke in the movie, right? They didn't respect him. Even after he got his powers.
Yeah. So it's because but it makes sense that it was like this big propaganda making all the Americans feel good and stuff.
Yeah.
Captain America, yeah. Damn, yeah. You go back with a lot of history on characters. I've noticed that. Whereas I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I know Captain America, but see, that's the thing. I was a big X-Men, where your knowledge of it goes beyond the X-Men. It goes beyond the Avengers and all that stuff in the DC. That's why I have you here, man. That's how we're talking about comic books, dude.
No, it's cool. Yeah, also when I see some of these movies, like especially like a character like Wolverine, and like they don't play like his biggest foes, like Sabretooth, Omega Red. You know that those are like some of his main like foes.
Yeah.
And when they put his movies, they put some other, I guess, more popular character, as a villain or something else. But I think they have to go back and make those characters popular, how they did to Guardians of the Galaxy. No one knew about it, but they made him popular, right?
I think they should go back and do the X-Men. They gotta reboot it, because they left a lot of stuff there. People don't know that Sabretooth is his brother, right?
No.
They're not brothers?
No.
When did I hear that? I thought they were brothers for some reason.
And they put it in the movie
that they were brothers.
Yeah. In the movie they put them as brothers, but I don't think they were brothers. It just
they were in the same tactical team. Or something like that, right?
They know each other a lot, and they were in the both like I said, part of the World War II. So they were like in a Navy SEAL team or something like that.
Maybe that kind of like brotherhood.
So they from there they went ways, and he started doing other stuff, and that's where Sabretooth kind of betrayed him.
Yeah.
And that's when they turned big enemies.
Yeah.
And since then they've been enemies. Because
I was reading the other day how Fox News sold the rights or whatever, they merged with Disney.
Yeah.
So now they wrote a kind of like a little
message.
That now you're gonna see what the X-Men are all about or something like that. Because I think now they could use the X-Men the way Marvel wants to do the X-Men. Not the way that Fox did them, but now the way they're doing Marvel characters in the movies. I can imagine. I'm ready.
It's funny how you said, because look at the difference what they did with Spider-Man. Okay. The Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, it wasn't bad. No, it was good. I enjoyed the first one, the second one. The third one kind of messed up because of Venom. They made him look a little too weak.
Yeah.
But the first two, they weren't bad. And then Sony went back with the Amazing Spider-Man, right? And that one was okay. It was good. It wasn't a bad movie. Yeah. I enjoyed it. But then when you see the Homecoming and all those the Marvel Studio ones. Oh, big difference. You know, it's the character. You know,
It's how funny they make
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Very likable.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the reasons I love Marvel movies. They
Yeah.
make them really fan favorites almost.
Yeah.
You get to know the character more, I think.
And what I liked it because even on the first one that they made with Spider-Man with Tom
Yeah.
Holland, you could tell the Tobey Maguire and then the other one, the Amazing Spider-Man, the first two movies are kind of similar. They just kind of change little things, but when Marvel Studio did it, it's way different. They didn't go to his like usual backstory, you know. Yeah, they do it slightly different, but then again, it's Marvel Studio, so
You know what's funny? We were talking about comic books and our favorite comic books. I was a big Spider-Man fan. That's my third favorite comic book that I would collect.
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then and you remember a lot of the characters. I was a big Spider-Man, so you saw a lot of their villains. Because Spider-Man had a lot of villains.
yeah,
And then one of the biggest villains he had, you mentioned it, Venom. And I was a big Venom fan. I was.
who ate?
God, I had his first when they first introduced him,
Yeah.
Venom, to the I think at the time it was the Amazing Spider-Man, because they had a couple of Spider-Mans, right?
Yeah,
I don't know if it was Spectacular Spider-Man or something like that, but I remember having the Amazing Spider-Man or something like that, and I still have that comic book where he Venom's like upside down or something like that.
okay,
Oh, Spider-Man's upside down and Venom's on the side.
yeah,
That's when they first introduced him to the Marvel world, or to Spider-Man, I think.
yeah.
And God, I fell in love with that character. I fell in love with him.
Yeah, but that's what makes Spider-Man good. Like I think what makes good, strong comics like certain like Spider-Man, you know, Hulk and all that. They have good villains.
Yeah.
You know, like Spider-Man has Doctor Rock, like you mentioned,
Yeah.
Venom,
Yeah.
Rhino, the Scorpion,
Yeah, Mysterio, Rey Mysterio. Damn.
Tombstone. You know,
Yeah,
it's-
the Sandman.
exactly.
They have all these good characters. Rhino, even Juggernaut came out in a lot of his comic books.
Yeah.
I think even he had, and that's the thing with the Marvel world, that they
It's all connected.
Yeah, they have.
It is.
Sometimes he was fighting the Punisher. Sometimes he was fighting, and then he's part of the Avengers too.
Oh, there you go. That's a good character that they should make a movie. Punisher.
Oh God, I love Punisher.
I know
dude.
they made like one or two, I believe, something like
God,
that.
dude, I was a big fan of Punisher.
Yeah.
Big fan of Punisher. They got to reboot the movie. at
They
least.
could throw him in a Spider-Man movie, like you
Yeah,
said, because
yeah.
he has came out in some Spider-Man comic books. So.
And then even well, we're gonna talk about that now. Let's go into this, because that's we're talking about my favorite comic books here now, the Punisher, because it was
it's another good character.
because
you know?
I used to collect the Punisher.
Yeah.
Because it's something that my brother didn't collect. My brother was into like the X Factor, all the newer ones
Yeah.
like Spawn, and
Yeah.
where I was into almost the traditional ones, Punisher. But with the Punisher, there was this one guy that, that I think it was I forget his name. It's not Scarface, but it's like a puzzle on his face. I forget it's Two-Face, but it's not Two-Face because Two-Face belongs to DC. I forgot his name.
Yeah.
But they had the Kingpin, they had Daredevil.
Yeah.
They had a bunch of these guys, dude. Bullseye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but that's to say it's good, but that's the part of the whole Spider-Man universe. Yeah.
And he didn't care. He would ride around in his van killing fools. He didn't give a damn.
Yeah, because he was just pretty much out for revenge.
Yeah.
That's-
And I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, and then they introduced this one. This character, I think they introduced him in the Punisher comic book, which is Ghost Rider.
yeah.
I'm not sure if they introduced him, but he came out a lot of them, and he was always trying to fight Ghost Rider, and I was like, God, and I fell in love
And
with
Ghost Rider's another great
Right?
character,
God.
man. Yeah, that dude. They made two movies of him too, but they weren't really
It's
that good.
fucking
Yeah,
horrible,
yeah.
man.
With Nicolas Cage, I believe. Yeah, it was bad. The second,
Yeah.
one, the first one, I was able to tolerate
Yeah.
a little bit, but the second one was just
God,
horrible.
freaking
Yeah,
horrible, man.
yeah.
Yeah,
But there's so many good characters like that they could punch out. Like it would be nice to see right Ghost Rider and
Yeah,
the Punisher in
God,
the
right?
movie. You know what I mean?
But
And it'll be a little darker, but like you were saying earlier in the podcast, I think some characters the movies need to be rated R.
they have to.
I know that they're trying to sometimes do with PG-13 to get a bigger audience, kids.
Yeah.
But look what rated R did to like Deadpool.
Yeah,
Those
oh.
two good movies, and then Logan.
Oh, but
The last Wolverine movie.
that was good,
Yeah,
right?
it came out good
Yeah.
because they were able to, because the
Yeah,
just the
yeah.
character how he is, a mature rating
Yeah,
help because it just betrays the character.
I also like what they did with Deadpool 2. They had like two different versions. They had the rated R version, and then that, I don't know if you remember, they had that Once Upon a Time, which was the kids version.
Yeah.
The kids version of that same movie. It was just, they took all the rated R stuff.
Yeah.
I think they should do more of that stuff, honestly.
Yeah.
They should have two versions. One for the kid version. You want to take your kids, or and if you're okay going with the rated R version, because the rated R version made it really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Now imagine having a rated R movie of Punisher or...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Damn.
It will work.
Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
God damn.
It's
Going back to Ghost Rider, the guy that played it, what's his name?
Nicolas Cage.
Okay, have you ever seen that picture of him wearing the Superman outfit on YouTube or like?
No, I haven't.
You've never seen it?
No,
You gotta
no,
see
no,
it,
no.
man.
He looks funny, or
Because he was supposed to be the original Superman back in the day,
okay.
and the guy that directed that movie, Once Upon a Nightmare. I mean, Nightmare Before Christmas. I forget his name. The director.
Tim Burton.
He was supposed to direct the Batman movie. I mean, the Superman movie.
After the Batman.
Yeah, it was around that era.
Yeah, after the success, right?
Yes,
of
yes,
Batman.
you're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
It was around that era, and he was supposed to direct it, and then they had pictures of Nicolas Cage in a man suit. Thank God they didn't do that.
No, but I think they have quite a few of people like they audition for certain characters, and I think they release them after, and some of them look funny. You're like, this wouldn't work, you know.
Yeah, that's pretty funny, man. Not too long ago, I saw the guy. I see, I'm not good with guys' names that play the characters in the movies, but the guy that plays Thor, the guy that plays Thor.
Chris
Hemsworth. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, there was another guy that tried out they were putting on the Thor outfit and all that. Supposedly he was in the spandex at the time. It's that guy. Have you ever seen Jack Ryan? The movie Jack Ryan?
Yeah,
I mean, was it Jack Ryan on the Amazon, the thingy?
Oh, yeah. You're talking about the Amazon Prime show. Right?
Yeah. Okay, that guy. Ryan. Well, he was telling his story that he also tried out for that part, but he was in his spandex. He was throwing it on, and then supposedly Chris Hemsworth walks by with the spandex halfway and walking around just with his shirt out and stuff. He's like, "Oh, there it is. I'm taking it off." He got the part already.
Yeah.
Like, did you hear that story?
No. So you're talking about the guy that plays Jim in The Office, right?
Yeah, that's the same guy.
Yeah,
that's the same guy.
The comedian. Yeah, he's funny.
Yeah,
too.
but and Jack Ryan, he's more. They make him look more manly.
Yeah, more built.
Yeah, and he said that because of what he saw with Chris Hemsworth, he was walking all ripped. He's like, I'm taking it off. I'm done.
He pretty much threw in the towel. He's that guy got it.
You haven't heard that?
No,
he just came out not too long ago because he's the director for that movie. I forget it was All Quiet or whatever.
Okay.
Remember that movie that you can't speak or otherwise they'll come at you, and I forget what that movie's called, but. Yeah, that's what he was talking about, the Thor movie.
Thor. No, but you know what? Chris Hemsworth, he's a good Thor, man.
Right?
Yeah. He was just meant for that.
Yeah, they made him really good. Yeah. See, that's the other thing.
Yeah. I don't know if it's his natural hair, but just if it is his natural hair, I'm telling you, he was made for that role.
See, but Marvel, this is the thing with Marvel casting. They do some real good casting, and that makes a big difference, too, where... like the DC casting.
Yeah.
Did you hear the big old backlash when they casted
from Twilight?
Oh no, the other one.
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck. There was a big old like what the hell are you guys doing? You're killing the character. Yeah. I mean, he wasn't a bad Batman, but he's I don't think he was a bad Batman.
He's actually a good Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
I think a good Bruce Wayne, but not a Batman.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But okay, well let's get back into DC because we're all over the place. But see, we get all excited about comic books.
Oh, there's so much to talk about. That's why.
Yeah. Well, we spoke about we spoke a little bit about Marvel. Let's talk about DC. What happened to DC?
Oh, you know, DC is different, and the only good like DC movies were the original Tim Burton with Jack Nicholson. The Batman.
That's a really good Batman.
And then Batman Returns, with the Penguin and Catwoman. That Catwoman, even to the day, people still wear that costume. Because it's it was a well done movie. And then Batman kind of fell off when they changed the director. Remember, they tried to go for kids.
Yeah.
Where Tim Burton was just like, this is the vision, and whatever the movie is, whatever rating it was, That's why they ended
Yeah.
up good. Those two movies.
Yeah.
The other ones they try to do more for kids.
Yeah. Do you think that's one of the reasons they keep on going dark? Because Tim Burton was always a dark
Yeah.
kind of person. Even his movies
Yeah.
are very
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
dark. But that was his style. And I think DC trying to make movies. That's why to me they're always dark, except for maybe Wonder Woman. But the majority of them are all dark.
Oh, they kind of fixed it. I think that's what people were complaining about.
Yeah.
Because they when they did Batman and Superman, you know they
killed it,
Yeah,
man.
they destroyed them. That should have been two movies.
Yeah.
First of all, it should have been two movies. But they couldn't. They didn't know how to put those two universes together.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, Superman ain't dark,
Yeah. He's
and then
not.
Batman is, and then
He was my favorite character in DC.
and
man.
then the editing was done was really bad. I think it was bad editing in that movie.
Oh God.
Yeah, it was. Even my son, that was like at that time, he was I believe 10. He was like, "Dad," he goes, "Sorry, I just couldn't finish that movie." He goes, "This." They just keep jumping from the editing was really bad.
Yeah. I mean, and it sucks because they have some real good characters. They got
Oh, yeah.
Aquaman.
Yeah.
They got the Flash.
Yeah.
Even Wonder Woman. I actually got excited for seeing the 1984, the second one. Have you seen
Yeah.
the trailer
Yeah.
for Wonder Woman? Because it was a real good
Yeah,
movie,
it was a
dude.
good movie. I think that was good. I enjoy Aquaman. You know what?
It was okay.
It wasn't. Yeah, it was little cheesy parts here and
At
there.
the end, it's because underwater they use so much.
CGI.
They gotta change their CGI guys or CGI guys. They really do, man.
No, I enjoyed it. I thought
Really?
it was good. I thought graphically that movie's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I think they did a good job on that. And
I
then
like the storyline.
and one movie that it's underrated that people ain't talking about that DC still needs to do something with is Shazam.
Oh, that's funny,
Have you
dude.
seen- oh
yeah,
man,
Shazam's
Shazam!
good. Yeah,
I think that's one of the top DC movies.
yeah,
That and Wonder Woman.
yeah.
I think they have to whatever director they got for Shazam.
Yeah.
I think they need to work that guy in and the director from Wonder Woman because those two movies that Shazam is a good movie.
You know, we were talking about that. You're the one that told me about Shazam. It's like, oh, you gotta watch it. And I was like, okay. Well, I came back maybe a week later, and I was like scrolling through Amazon. I go, hey, you want to watch Shazam? With my oldest, he's like, Dad, it's a DC movie, but I hear it's funny.
Yeah,
And then we were looking through the previews. You know how they have like little trailer,
yeah,
and it looked funny. And then we watched it. And it was. I thought it was really good. It was really well done.
it was good, right?
You know why?
It was funny.
That's why they
Yeah.
made it like likable.
Yeah, it was funny, and even though the story he was adopted and everything, they still didn't try to imitate like a Batman that is
Yeah.
dark.
Yeah.
They still kind of switch it up, and it was good. It's not a popular character,
Yeah.
Only people that know about comics
Yeah.
know about him, but it's not really popular, and now people
Yeah.
know about him.
Have
And
you-
it's a great
did,
movie.
Did you ever collect DC comics?
Just Batman, not too much, but it was
Really?
just more Batman and Superman.
Yeah.
but
Well, see, this is where I was with Batman. I collect the Superman comic
Comics?
books, and then I had that one when they break his back with the
Doomsday.
with Doomsday. I actually
Yeah,
had
yeah,
that
yeah,
comic
yeah,
book.
yeah,
I
yeah.
actually, and they did no justice to that comic book in the movie because they put like
Yeah.
all these different.
No, that's why that
So
movie should
dumb.
have been two movies.
Yeah.
Because they should have done with Ben Affleck and stuff. They should have done a movie of just Ben Affleck first,
Yeah.
and Batman, and then another Superman connecting that storyline, and then after whatever they wanted to explain, then bring in Doomsday.
Yeah.
Not just bring him out in a movie just to have action.
It's so dumb. They put so much stuff in there.
And that guy is a great villain too. You
Yeah.
could play a black story to him, something.
But even in the comic books, it was like a 3-story comic book or something like that,
Exactly, yeah.
and until he kills Superman,
yeah.
and it was a big deal. And even in the comic book back in the early '90s, and they did no justice to that.
And then in the movie had really no emotion
Yeah,
because in the comics they're fighting the city.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the people actually are crying, because Superman is
Yeah, yeah.
is pretty much dead.
yeah.
So they took that emotion aspect. I don't know. They just messed up big time.
I think that's it with DC, where Marvel did it within years. They had Phase 1, Phase 2, and you get to know the characters. DC tried doing it all in 1 year. Boom.
Huh.
It's like, well, they tried doing the thing where, oh, well, these are iconic characters and people are going to know them. They're going to know. No. people want to know their backstories. They want to get to fall in love with the character.
Yeah. And it's funny because DC has characters to do that.
Yeah.
You know, their universe is pretty big. You know, they have other characters that people don't talk about, like just even on the video game, on the fighting game with Injustice.
Yeah, Injustice, yeah.
All those characters that come out, it's all DC.
Yeah.
You have villains, it's crazy. So it's not that the universe is not there, it's just that directors or whoever's in charge of DC is just not doing it right, you know.
Yeah.
It's not. I think, like I said, they're just still trying to catch up with Marvel when they just should go say, you know what, let's do our thing.
Yeah.
And who cares of what they're doing?
Yeah.
And let's do ours. You know?
That's why they tried hiring James Gunn away.
Yeah.
And they did the last of what's that movie when they had all these fucking characters? See, that's the thing.
It's it's
Justice League. The
Justice League.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, the Justice League. They tried doing the Avengers in the DC world, and it didn't work out right. It was horrible.
It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great.
God damn, they just killed it. I was excited when I saw like the poster.
Yeah.
Just all the emblems and whatever, or their signs or the signals and all that crap.
Yeah.
I got excited, dude. I was one of those people that was like, damn, this might actually work.
But you know what character that I thought they did him pretty good that they should have continued was Cyborg. Yeah, I thought they picked a good Cyborg character.
Yeah, the way he plays,
I think they do bad, but then again, they just bring him out without no backstory.
Yeah.
Like you
but
said.
see, did you hear what they were trying to say about DC? It's like, well, Marvel brought out their backstories first, where DC said that, oh, we're gonna do that after the movie.
Yeah,
I think they messed up on that.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense because Doomsday, first of all, Doomsday is a big villain.
Yeah, and they didn't do nothing about him.
And yeah, so it's like Thanos. You see how that's why it was so epic.
Fuck, I love
because
that
they just made him like every movie they show a little bit. He's coming. He's coming here.
The first Avenger, remember?
Yeah. He's coming. In the end of all the Marvel movies, there was little things teasing you.
Is the anticipation.
And then when he finally got here, you're like, oh man! And then all that damage that he did on the first movie.
Yeah.
Dude, it was on Infinity War when he came out and he just did what he actually said he was gonna do.
Yeah.
That's why it was so emotional. People were into the characters. That's why people cried for a certain character.
For Tony Stark, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Sad,
yeah, but there was and that's what Darkseid is to DC.
Yeah.
It's one of those heavy villains that they should have. It's like now, okay, they put him in the movie. Okay, Doomsday's coming, but then before Doomsday comes, he sends all his followers, his villains, out there to fight them. So they could do a lot with it, like I said, but they're not doing it right.
Damn.
You know?
Let's go back to the comic book side because DC. Look, my dad was a comic book reader, and I remember seeing some of his comic books, and he was a big the Green Lantern. My dad was a big Green Lantern, and the Green Lantern is a big DC guy, and he's supposed to be part of the
Justice League.
The Justice League. He didn't come out, huh?
No,
he was not part of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's there's so many good characters on DC. You know, the Green Lantern universe. It's Aquaman. There's
what's his name? And Deadpool makes fun of the DC his character.
Oh, you're talking about not Deadshot. You're talking about
remember Deadpool makes fun of his
Deathstroke.
Well,
but you know what? Even though it's probably like a copy of it, but he's still a good character.
Yeah.
But he is a copy.
But check this out. Do you remember in the movie what's the character's name? I forget his name. The guy that plays him.
That plays what?
Deadpool.
Oh, Ryan Reynolds.
Oh yeah, Ryan Reynolds. Okay, Ryan Reynolds. Remember I think in the first one he's going over through his desk and he picks up a Green Lantern guy and he looks at it and he kind of looks at it and he shoves it to the side. Yeah. He's making fun because he played Green Lantern in DC.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like throwing a jab at that movie, at himself, basically. And it's pretty funny, people that know that he actually played that character.
The Green Lantern before Deadpool.
So there's a bunch of characters. There's Superman, they killed that character. Batman is great.
Yeah. It had more success.
Look at the Flash. Even the Flash. The Flash has some success on the DW, whatever, the CW.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. The TV shows are good. Like you have Green Arrow. That's another good
Green Arrow.
Good TV show they have. Even Teen Titans.
Oh, they're very popular.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They have the characters there, and they're just not
Marketing them right or something.
Yeah, they're just not doing that. Who
Yeah.
doesn't like the Teen Titans?
They're big. They're big. Dude.
Yeah,
They're
yes.
big.
They have a lot to work with. They have even They have a lot of villains. Scarecrow.
They gotta make a movie
Yeah.
of Joker by himself. You saw the big
Oh,
deal.
they did. Make
Yeah,
it,
but it's a different style of Joker though. With what's his name? It's a different style of Joker.
with Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, that's not like your traditional Joker from the comic books.
Yeah.
They gotta make a traditional Joker movie, not his origins, because that kind of made him look like the Oranges almost, but it wasn't. They really gotta do a DC movie on the Joker
Yeah.
versus Batman. Maybe Batman has a little small role, but the Joker, the way there's a reason why he's so popular.
Yeah.
You see the Injustice movie. I mean the game. They make him look like the Joker the way he laughs and do all that stuff. He was a real good Joker.
I think they just try to go with something different, but it wasn't too bad. I enjoy it. You know what part that I'm actually like this, because in the comic book Joker kills Batman's parents, right?
Oh yeah.
But and this movie the Joker did ended up killing. He didn't personally kill the parents in this movie.
Yeah.
But his followers, the Jokers, killed him. So I kind of I know movies always try to change little things in the comics, but I actually like that scenario that. Because initially the Joker still kind of killed him because it was his followers that were mad of how Bruce Wayne's dad was talking about everybody was a joke, and he mentioned that. So that's so the followers started following him.
Yeah.
It's different, but it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not a bad start of what they're trying to do.
I want DC to go back to making good movies. Even the first Batman, the reboot Batman.
Yeah.
With I forget. I'm telling you, I'm not good with the people's names.
With you're talking about Chris Nolan was the director with Christian Bale. There you go.
Well, there it is.
There
Christian
you
Bale.
go. I just
Okay.
I just remember.
Oh yeah. Hey, I was at the movie. It was Batman Returns or something like that. That Batman, dude. That Batman with Christian Bale.
Yeah.
I went to go watch it at the movies. When it was done, I shit you not, dude. Everybody got up and clapped.
Yeah.
Even I was so amazed. I was like, "What the hell?" It was a real good Batman.
And that was funny because I went to the movies too, and my wife, she was really, oh man, this guy's Batman, because I guess she seen Christian Bale do some movie. It was really bad. She goes, man, they really got this guy.
Yeah.
And he's wimpy, and I'm like, I don't care. It's a Batman movie. Let's go watch it. I haven't seen a Batman movie in a long time. So like you said, like when I came out of that movie, I was like, oh wow, I was like, this is actually, it was good.
I like now I see when we go watch like the Guardians of the Galaxy, everybody stands up and claps. They're like, yeah. It's all great. Even like little scenes here and there, everybody's like, oh, laughing and the anticipation and all that shit. But when that movie came out, I remember I was in awe.
Yeah.
Because they did a really good Batman. At first I was like, nah, they're not, because I had remembered like the last one.
The one with Mr. Freeze and
so
that Venom.
horrible.
Not Venom. I mean
The Riddler.
Bane.
Yo,
Remember
the
it was Bane?
the Riddler. And
Yeah.
It's so horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that character, I mean, with that specific actor, that was a good Batman.
But it was just the director, he did his version of Batman. He didn't. But those movies were good too because they didn't cater for kids. I remember when those movies like that Batman came out, then the Dark Knight with Joker, and then the last one with Bane.
Yeah.
I didn't take my kids when they used to say, oh, it's Batman, but I go, oh, it's like older Batman, they used to tell me. But he just catered to what his character, the vision of what he saw Batman was like.
And even that movie, Dark Knight, God, that shit was great, right?
It's one of the top comic movies.
Yeah, but the Joker had a lot to do with it, though.
Yeah, but he portrayed him really well.
God, he was badass, though. That movie is a classic to me, man. Whenever I see it, that Joker, God.
Everybody wanted to dress like the Joker that year for Halloween.
That was in the like late 2000s, huh?
Yeah. And it was that specific Joker that everyone wanted to dress like, not like the past Jokers.
Yeah, they would do it at football games too. I remember they would do it and stuff. Like, God, that shit was great.
No.
So it tells you DC has some good ass fucking characters, man.
Yeah, like you know, DC is talking about characters. You know, they have like Gorilla Grodd, they have Brainiac, Black Canary. You know, Captain Cold, Starfire. She's part of there. You know, there's a lot of good characters.
The CW brings a lot of those characters.
Yeah,
in.
but that's what I'm saying. Their TV shows are great.
yeah.
So that's why I'm like, why can't
What is that? Black Lightning too.
Yeah, and then they have Black Adam, Darkseid,
Oh, what's his name's gonna play the Atom in
The Rock, right?
The Rock?
Yeah, they have Cheetah. You know, they have Swamp Thing, Bane, like we talk about. They have the people to do it. It's just
Yeah.
I think get those directors that are making your TV shows and then let them
Yeah.
let them do a movie, because like you said, those how are the TV shows bringing up these characters that I mentioned?
Yeah.
And not
Yeah.
the movies.
Yeah, but DC's not doing it right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
like give these directors that are making TV shows, at least give one of them a chance and see what they do with a movie. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
What is it that you anticipate characters movie wise? Because there's a lot of movies coming out. Is there one movie that you're actually looking forward to?
You know what? The new one with Black Widow.
Oh, that one look good, right?
Yeah, it's just that I just want to see what they do with her.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah,
looks
it
good.
does really look really
She
good.
looks good.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. They go back into like the character, and you fall in love with that character, and you're like, God damn, this is what Marvel does the best. They focus on a character and they make them big. Even like, remember, I think you were the one person that told me, Gus, go watch Ant-Man. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. Remember, because I didn't want to watch it.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh,
Ant-Man.
nobody did it, but that's what I'm saying. It's just more characters.
Yeah.
That just because you don't hear too much about
Yeah.
it, and people
Yeah.
are like, you know, this
Yeah.
gonna suck. what is Ant-Man? You know?
Yeah.
But then when you see a special power, he could shrink. He
Yeah,
could do all
he's
this
fun,
stuff.
and not only he's funny too. Because at first when they
Paul Rudd.
yeah, you know what? When they
That's what
first
it
cast him, and then I was listening to the Kevin and Bean with one of the guys there, comic book guy in there. I forget his name. Ralph Garman. Before he left the show, he was a big Batman guy, but he was the comic book head, so-called comic book geek, and he would talk about the Ant-Man. I was like, what the hell is the Ant-Man? Who wants to watch this movie? And then I heard you talking about it. I was like, you gotta go watch it, Gus. It's badass. And then I ended up watching. I was like, God damn, what the hell was I thinking?
Yeah, it was a good movie.
Yeah, so the first one I didn't see it. I saw it on regular TV, and then for the second one I was amped up with the and then now I have my road dog, my son.
Yeah.
We go watch all the movies now. Because my wife is not a big comic book person.
Yeah.
She doesn't like this type of movies, and God, it just gets on my nerves. I don't know, why don't you get it? Why?
Yeah.
Does your family enjoy all those movies?
My wife does enjoy, and she enjoys the action and all of it. I don't think she never followed comic books.
Yeah.
You know, but she just the action. You know, they're not bad movies.
No,
like
they're
you
not.
watch Avengers or Infinity War, all those Marvel, they're great movies.
Yeah.
I think anyone that doesn't know about comics could pick it up.
Yeah.
They just go because of how phenomenal the movies are.
Yeah.
So that's why they go to it.
For me, I was never a big Black Panther comic book. I mean, he was there. He was part of it. I wasn't a big Black Panther comic book geek.
Yeah.
But in the movies, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was real good. He was a big part of the Avenger movies too. So
But and just his whole movie that they did, it's just his own universe.
Yeah.
It's great to see.
Yeah.
You know, and one thing it sucks that like we talk about the X-Men's not part of that universe.
Yeah.
Storm, gets married with Black Panther.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that when I saw that movie, all I thought is like, it would have been cool seeing Storm part of that role too, because she is part of the Black Panther role, the universe.
That's the thing, though. Some of the X-Men,
They have to do a big part.
Yeah, because Wolverine, from what I remember, Wolverine was supposed to be a big part of the Civil War.
Yeah.
And he wasn't there, and they used all these Marvel characters, but the one that was missing is Wolverine.
Yeah.
Because Wolverine's an Avenger too.
Yeah.
So imagine having Wolverine as an Avenger. God
Yeah,
damn.
that's what I'm saying. And then even just like Cyclops.
Yeah.
You know.
So that's one of the reasons I think they brought that hint up. But now we have the X-Men. Let's see what we could do with them. And because supposedly Phase 4 had something to do with Galactus or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm wrong. Right.
Oh, you mean Phase 2?
No, I think is it Phase 4 now, isn't it? They're in.
Yeah. Phase. Yeah. My bad.
Yeah,
bad.
they're going to Phase 4, and they one of the main characters. So they got rid of Thanos now. So now the big one coming up is supposedly Galacticus or whatever. I don't know if I'm saying it right.
Yeah.
Remember that guy that
Yeah,
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 that-
but
with the
that's what
Silver
they're
Surfer?
yeah, but that's what they're bringing Fantastic Four now
Yeah, they're
because they got the rights to them, right?
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And I hope they do that good movie because they killed the first.
Oh,
couple
I'm pretty
movies.
sure they
Fucking
would.
horrible movies.
Uh,
Even Sony, remember the reboot?
yeah.
Have you ever
Oh
seen
no!
it?
Oh, the reboot is even worse than the
Oh
other
my
one with
God.
what's his name? Chris Evans, right? That plays Captain America.
No, he plays the fire guy.
Yeah, but he plays.
Yeah,
he
yeah,
plays the same
yeah,
character.
yeah,
His
yeah.
name is Chris Evans.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, you're
Yeah,
right,
so he plays the Human Torch.
Yeah, the Human Torch.
Yeah.
I forgot. Yeah,
So he went from the Human Torch to
Captain
Captain
America,
America.
yeah.
But he was a great Captain
Right?
America.
Great
Yeah,
Captain America.
Yeah.
I actually
Good
like
cast.
the Winter Soldier is probably one of my favorite
Oh
movies.
yeah, it's top. It's top.
So, well, and we're talking about movies. Which one's your favorite one? Which one's your favorite Marvel movie?
Like I mentioned, it's Winter Soldier.
The Winter Soldier. That's
Yeah.
great, right?
Yeah, but that's I think that's what picked up DC as the Dark Knight.
Oh yeah. The Dark Knight has
Yeah.
to be that's the best one.
Then I like the one with the Penguin.
Oh,
Batman Returns.
Yeah. For
That
me,
was another good
if
one.
we're going DC, I like Batman. That one, the Dark Knight Returns,
Yeah,
and obviously some reason.
the Jack Nicholson one.
Yo, that one's good. And then third place has to be Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was a great movie, dude.
Yeah.
Actually, when they did the 1984 one, like the one that's coming out,
Yeah.
I actually had that,
Yeah.
like, oh, damn, it's coming out. I was like, I want to go watch it. The same kind of vibes that you get from the Marvel movies.
No, it's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my wife wants to go see it too. She's
Oh,
like
yeah.
the first one was good,
Yeah.
but the other one, hopefully they do, is another Shazam 2.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you, to me, that's like an unappreciated comic movie.
Yeah.
Until you see it, then you'll be like, okay, I want to see more. Like,
Hey, did you go watch Deadpool at the movies?
no, but my son did.
Oh, okay. So I was gonna ask you, did you take your kids to watch that movie? Because I took my oldest,
Yeah.
my 9-year-old, and you know that part where they rip Deadpool apart.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, maybe I shouldn't have brought you to
Yeah.
this movie.
No, my oldest was in 6th grade,
Oh, okay.
and one of my cousins, they wanted to take it and go,
Yeah.
can you take it? I'm like, yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Take it, because all I was thinking is like, the most is be a little bloody,
Yeah.
right? So my cousin went, and then I guess they showed some scenes. you know.
Yeah. And the first one,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and then my cousin would he's like, you just turn around and look, because he took both of my his nephews that were 6th graders.
Yeah.
But it was fine. He just came back, and I never saw the movie. I saw it after, and I was like, oh man.
I saw that movie with my pops.
Yeah.
My pops. And imagine him sitting down with your old man. Watching that.
You know what? That it's talking about that. This wasn't a comic movie, but it was it was Starship Troopers.
Oh,
Have you
yeah.
seen that
Yeah,
movie?
yeah, I have.
So my aunt took me. She goes, "What movie you wanna go watch?" And I'm like, "Oh, let's go watch Starship Troopers. They look cool, you know, with
Yeah.
bugs and all that."
Yeah.
And we were watching the movie, and I didn't know it was rated R, and there was gonna be those naked scenes
Yeah,
when they were in
yeah.
the shower
Yeah,
and you know other stuff like adult content.
Yeah.
And my aunt just bought the tickets for us because she was
Okay.
trying to
Yeah.
take me and my sister. So we went, and those scenes came out. I was like, oh man! I turned around and I was looking at my aunt, and my aunt was just like, no. She was just like, well, like what you bring me, what kind of movie did you bring me? She thought it was just action, but it did start just action. But I didn't know they were gonna put that. But
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
yeah, so it's kind of what like you said with your dad with Deadpool.
Yeah, damn. Because we're getting in that hour mode. So, what movie are you actually looking forward to in the Marvel side now? Like, what is it we're looking for?
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four.
Because I just want to see what they're doing, what they're gonna do with it.
Damn.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. Because I already know what they're gonna do with Spider-Man. I know what they're gonna do with Black Panther. Oh, I don't know what they're gonna do, but you know what it's gonna come out
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
something good already because you already seen what they had. The first two Spider-Mans were fantastic. Black Panther was fantastic. So you know what?
Yeah, so-
but you don't know what they're gonna do with Fantastic Four. So
they-
that for me, it's more of that.
Yeah, well, see, they're bringing new characters, the
Yeah.
Marvel universe, and that's the thing of Marvel.
Yeah.
There's so much characters, and they're bringing them, making them stars. Fantastic Four, like you said, they're bringing what is it, the Tai Chi or whatever his name is.
Fury something. Like
You remember that guy?
Yeah.
And doing the was it Galaxy of the Guardians 3, Thor 3 or something
Yeah.
like that.
His girlfriend's gonna take over, right?
Yeah, or something like yeah.
The girl version they're gonna do.
But that alone, because Thor and Galaxy of the Guardians in the same galaxy, so
Yeah.
they're gonna come out in what is it, in one movie, right? I don't know if in Galaxy
believe so.
or they're gonna come out on the Thor movie. I think they're coming out in one of them movies. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to those because I'm a big fan of the Galaxy of the Guardians, man.
Yeah, they're funny. They're good.
Me and my kid were like, I'm Rocket, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You could be Groot. I tell him. Right? Because that's how big these characters have become. Mainstream, man. Part of society. What is this? The norm now. Everybody knows them. They're on mainstream culture now, pop culture.
No, everybody enjoys it. Like you see everybody wearing a shirt now.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not like I said. It wasn't that people weren't better. It's just that it wasn't really talked about. But everyone knows comics.
Yeah.
You go to the movies now. The demographics are from everything.
Yeah.
I even see people that are like 60, 50 going to these movies that are like, oh, I remember reading these comic books when I was younger.
Yeah.
So it's always been there, but it just never been talked about.
Damn.
You
And
know?
everybody loves a comic book hero. Everybody loves heroes.
Yeah.
Do you
On Halloween, at least everyone has dressed one time
Yeah,
to
yeah.
like a character that they like. You know,
Yeah.
how many Spider-Mans don't you see?
You know,
all this stuff.
it's funny because I was we did a podcast with one of my friends early in my podcasting thing in here,
Yeah,
and he said that he disliked the comic book world and the Marvel movies because he was more into like movies. And I go, well, you know that the comic book movies is a form of entertainment. That's it.
yeah,
And we know that they're fake. We know, but those are heroes. America loves their heroes. I'm sorry.
yeah.
That's what we love. That's what we fall in love with these characters, and that's what we love. And who doesn't? Deep down inside, everybody's a nerd. It's a geek. It's cool to be a geek, man. And I'm bringing that episode next time.
It's like Star Wars too.
Oh, see
Yeah,
it.
it's the same thing. Star Wars is you could put it as with comics too. Or they do usually. Comic book stores have a bunch of Star Wars stuff.
yeah.
It's their own universe as well.
Yeah.
But it's another thing, you know, Jedi's, you know, Jedi power, the story, the politics.
Yeah, but we'll check this out. I mean, everybody goes, they watched The Walking Dead. And guess what? It was a comic book.
Yeah.
The Walking Dead was a comic book. And people don't know that. They have their own comic books.
Yeah.
Go check them out.
Yeah.
They were popular before they were on TV. They're actually coming out with a movie now.
Yeah.
The Walking Dead movie.
And it's funny because even you mentioned like something like Spawn 2.
Yeah.
When Spawn came out, you know, that's another universe that people like. Spawn is big in comics too.
Yeah, it's they're Marvel, right? I think they're Marvel.
I think they're their own. I believe they're their own.
They're their
I
own?
don't know if they have switched to it, but I think it's their own production, their own thing
Yeah.
that I believe. And but the first Spawn movie that they make wasn't really.
Yeah, it was horrible.
It was okay, but it was for. I'll take it because it's the only thing that has came out.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think someone needs to go back to Spawn.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people follow Spawn, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy how much is. That's another character that he's like kind of like Ghost Rider, like because he's too dark, and it's more a total content. You know, like the characters that you have are crazy, like the villains.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
do you still like that world, like in your? Because the reason I ask is because like me and my kids, we end up going at least once a year to either not Comic-Con, because Comic-Con is so hard to get in, but like one of those conventions. Have you ever been to one of those conventions?
no, I have recently last year. I don't know what convention it was in Vegas.
Oh, you guys went to a Vegas?
Yeah, I just ran into it. I wasn't. I wasn't even looking forward to it. It's just that my wife was working the other convention.
Oh, okay.
So there was those conventions are big, so everyone has a different room.
Yeah.
And then we were seeing all these people wearing costumes and everything. I'm like, wow. Oh, there's a comic book convention.
Yeah.
So I went into it, and it was Father's Day.
Oh, was it?
And I went and I told my kids, I'm like, let's go to the comic book convention.
Yeah, all right.
So when I went there, I was just, the parents just paying the kids go in for free. That's what they had.
It usually is like that.
Yeah, so when I went and then I was waiting in line and then some lady just came and said, "Oh, happy Father's Day," and she gave me a ticket.
Oh, damn.
So I just went to that comic book convention. I don't know which one it was or it was, but I just ran into it.
We go to the one every year. We go to the one in Anaheim. It's called WonderCon.
Yeah,
and it's big. It's big, dude.
I think it's probably like the second biggest after Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Right?
So,
of comic.
Oh yeah, it's big, and dude, I love it, dude. It made me feel like a kid. You're happy. And my kids, I love the fact that my kids enjoy it now. Because the first year that we went, my wife was like, she was all bored.
Yeah.
So I don't even take my wife anywhere. It's just me and my kids and stuff. Because my wife's like, well, you don't take care of the kids. So But that's not her world.
Yeah.
That is not her world. And no matter how much I try to get my wife to get into these things, she doesn't like it. I'm like, I don't get you. You know, when you meet these people, like, I don't get it. Like, why don't you like these? Like, these, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
But when we go there, I feel like a kid. I feel happy. And I love the fact that my kids love it.
Yeah.
So when we go there, damn, I love it. I become like their age. It's like, oh my God, there's so and so, or oh my God, this. They take pictures of Batman, Superman, and the guys walking around their spandex and stuff like that.
I think you just gotta either you enjoy it or you don't. But I think it's more because it's more like it's fantasy. It's like cartoons, right?
Yeah.
They probably see it as some people see, oh, it's just cartoons.
Yeah.
You know, but it's the stories are good. Like if you actually read the comics, they're good, man. Yeah. I even sometimes pick up a comic.
Oh, yeah.
I still like to read the comics.
I still love them.
Yeah,
I have a lot of my comic books like hidden away. I'm like, nobody's touching these.
Yeah, I know. I have the same thing. I have them in my closet in a little section.
Yeah, and then like even when we go there, I pick up some comics sometimes, and I have a lot of these posters that I have. My like that one. Like my kids, we love comic books. As you could tell from behind, that's our world, man, and I love it. The only thing I've never been to Comic-Con.
Yeah. I actually want to do that too.
Yeah.
But it's pretty big, and you got to buy the tickets ahead of time, right?
No, but you actually have to be in the same stream, or the same people that sell WonderCon.
Yeah.
Are the same ones that do Comic-Con. But Comic-Con is so humongous. But once you're in their system, they put your name and they send you a raffle ticket, and then with that raffle ticket, they do a lottery, and then so it's a big old thing. So I was like, I just don't want to do it.
Yeah, because Comic-Con is big because they mix a lot. They mix comics and video games.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with these. Like WonderCon, they do that too. I think they have WizardCon here in LA now.
Yeah, that's the one I've been to. Did you read their books that they used to sell? The WizardCon has their own magazines.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever read them, but I know 7-Eleven used to sell them before a lot.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
The Wizard magazine.
Yeah.
And they talk all about comics.
I didn't know
brought
that
up. Yeah, I forgot about that, but I used to buy those a lot. I used to go buy a Slurpee, some Cheetos, and then I used to go.
I did not know that.
The Wizard magazine, and they were like one of the first like magazines just to talk about comics and video, sometimes video games.
But see, that's the thing now.
That culture, just that.
But see, a lot of these conventions have comic book stuff now too. Yeah. I have video games in there.
Yeah.
So it's video games with
and comic books,
right? Yeah, and movies. Yeah. So it's mainstream pop culture now, and it's cool.
Yeah.
So they've intertwined, and it's cool to be a geek now, because before to be a geek was to be frowned upon.
Yeah.
And now it's like it's cool to be one.
Yeah.
Right. And now not only that, now jocks are geeks, and they're doing all this stuff now. So.
But it's something that I'm telling you, it's something that everybody has done. It's just it never came up, or like I said, maybe because people see it as cartoons, or you know how it was. Oh, they don't see it like it's nothing, but people actually did enjoy it. I
really have to say this because WizardCon was actually made by Stan Lee, so fans could have more access to comic books here in LA. Yeah. That's one of the things he said. Yeah. And we all know that Stan Lee passed away last year. So, like, the big iconic guy is done, and he's the main one that created many of the Marvel characters, and it sucked, huh?
Yeah, but I think WizardCon was one of the first big cons, big convention. Yeah, I believe so. I think before even Comic-Con, because I'm telling you, now that you mentioned Wizard, I remember buying their magazines.
Really? I remember their magazines.
They were out for a good minute, dude.
Really?
And I remember I did go to one convention.
I'm gonna have to look it up.
And look it up, but I believe it should be one of the oldest like mainstream cons of conventions.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Man, we gotta get together and go to one of those.
WonderCon
or WizardCon.
Yeah. I've been to WizardCon. It was pretty cool.
Like I like going to a lot of these expos because my sister's into like the horror expos, and they do them usually right here in Pasadena. And the video game one, there's going to be another one right here in Pasadena in March, and we're going to end up going. Comic books and video games are intertwined, so you see comic book people in there too, that they have like their own booths. Even though it's a gaming expo, they have comic books in there. They're in there too.
Because it goes together.
Yeah,
All the
yeah.
same people that like comic books are the same people that
Yeah,
like
then
video
they go
games.
back and forth. Yeah, you're right.
It's the same thing.
So it's this world, man, and I love it.
You know what character that is crazy? I won't be surprised that they will make comics out of him, because when I went to the convention for the comic that I ran into Vegas,
Yeah.
it was John Wick.
Oh, okay.
They had a lot of John Wick, like
Oh, yeah,
pictures
yeah.
Of him, and
That was badass,
drawing.
though. That's a
Yeah,
good one.
exactly. I won't be surprised in the future that they'll start making comics out of John Wick.
And John Wick.
Yeah,
Damn.
because he's like one of those characters that is like, he's human. He's kind of like the Punisher, you could say. You know, he's going out with revenge, but for his dog and
Well, isn't the Matrix too? Wasn't it a comic book before?
no, they kind of turn it into it as well.
Because they're making a fourth one.
Yeah,
He's filming it.
yeah. Oh, they're making a part 4 because of the success of John Wick.
Oh, yeah, because he's so big right now. dude.
yeah, because Keanu
dude,
Reeves.
so damn.
Oh, he's even in a video game. He's in Cyberpunk.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah,
that.
it's an RPG game.
Yeah.
And he's one of the characters in the video game.
Damn, dude. Damn, we can keep on talking about all these things,
Yeah,
dude.
no.
Man.
But that character surprised me because I was seeing him a lot in the pictures and everything. I'm like, oh man, they're pushing John Wick.
Damn.
But it's funny how that movie succeeded because it's a simple storyline, just the character of
You
him.
know, I can't imagine, like, you know how they put, like, even on what's that game? Not Street Fighter, but the other one.
Mortal Kombat?
Mortal Kombat. You know how they put like special
Character?
killers and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that?
yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he comes out in one day. 'Cause-
Maybe the one that they do in 2 years from now, they're gonna have John Wick.
Well, they just just added on the Joker
Yeah,
in one
They
of
have
them.
the Terminator. They have the
you see?
Joker.
They had Freddy Krueger and all these.
And the year before they have
Yeah.
Chainsaw, Jason. They went
You
with
see?
horror.
Yeah. So it wouldn't surprise me if this year when the next couple of years they come up with
And with John Wick, and it would have been cool if they put Neo from the Matrix,
Oh,
so
you
you
see?
could fight
Yeah,
in
yeah,
with
yeah.
each other.
So even in Marvel versus Capcom, because I have that
Yeah.
video game, I love that video
Yeah.
game. It's an old school game, but I love it, and it wouldn't surprise me if they start like adding some of these characters in there too.
yeah.
So that's how big these characters are coming.
No, but it's crazy how just these other stuff that they make that they're not really into comic books,
Yeah.
but they kind of mesh with comic books culture,
yeah.
and they
So
put them in.
That's the thing. It's a culture now.
Yeah.
It's a way of life, dude.
like Star Wars,
Yeah.
and then Star Trek is another big one.
Yeah.
Star Trek, man, Star Trek is a big universe.
No,
that,
I'm gonna have a episode on that. Either you're a Star Trek guy,
Star
or
Wars.
you're a Star Wars guy, because they fight in between them.
yeah.
They're like back and forth.
yeah, but
It's gonna be Sci-Fi Week or something like that. We're gonna talk about
but
it.
I think Star Wars is more mainstream. I think Star Trek is
Yeah.
more for the diehard, like more comic book guys.
Yeah.
And it's more, can you say, it was people used to see and a little more nerdy
Yeah.
before. But dude, the universe is big. I wasn't really big on Star Trek for a minute, and then
I like
started
the movies.
Yeah, I started watching the movies, and then I started actually going back to some of the TV shows.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? It ain't bad. It has good stories, and I see why people like it, you know. But I don't think it was just more. It wasn't mainstream. People saw it more like, I could say, little nerdy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
but it's good. Star Trek ain't bad, dude.
You know, going back to you know how we're naming like these old shows like you said right now. Do you remember watching the old Hulk one?
Oh yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That he came out with even his hair. What
Yeah.
the guy that played Ferragamo? Whatever his name is. Do you remember that guy?
Yeah.
The bodybuilder
The
guy?
body, the body still look all plastic,
Yeah,
right?
do you remember that guy? And then his hair all like all frizzy and stuff. And,
Yeah.
and they even have the Wonder Woman too. I remember back in those shows they used to play on back in the 80s, late 90s or early 90s. I'm sorry, when
Yeah.
on replay or whatever, and they had nothing to put. They would put those shows on.
Lou.
Yeah. It's Lou Ferragamo, I think.
Yeah.
Ferrigno.
Yeah.
Lou Ferrigno, whatever. You remember that Hulk? Oh man, it sucks. I mean, it's kind of like folklore now.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of, it was either him or Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger became the Terminator, and he became the Hulk. It was around the same time.
No, but it's crazy that there's a lot of things that go with comics. You know,
Yeah.
it's not only like Marvel, DC. You know, like you
Yeah.
could throw in, like we said, Spawn, Star Wars,
yeah.
Star Trek.
Damn.
All that is considered comics too.
Yeah.
You know, it's part of the comic
book
You
world.
see him in Comic Con
Yeah,
too. Yo,
yeah.
you see him and stuff like that all over.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, I love it.
Yeah.
And you know what makes me feel good when we go to these comic book conventions and look, I look a certain way so I don't kind of fit in with like the norm of what you think a comic book person would look like because they go all dressed up and they're all geeked out and all that stuff. But that's cool now. But yet I look a certain way. I look more like a guy from the street or from the streets or whatever. So when people find out that we're comic book people or stuff like that, they're like, "What you?" No, and then we got something in common, like, and then we like that. It's a big thing of
but
talking point.
Comic books, I'm telling you, there's so many people that you won't think they know about comics, but they do.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's crazy. Yeah, you to people that you won't think that they won't even enjoy it or nothing.
yeah.
They probably even know more than you do.
Yeah, well, you were one of them when I started talking. They was like, "Holy snack, this guy knows comic books too." Eh? So it's like our own language. It's like, no,
they're like, almost people just look at me and they're like, "Oh, what? Oh, you like video games? You like comics? I didn't think you were gonna like that." You know.
I mean, everybody likes video games. Who doesn't? But when you talk about comic books, it's a whole different species. Like, God damn. Yeah, man. Well, I think we're gonna have to leave it there because we can keep on going, man.
Yeah.
So thanks for coming on the Everything Goes podcast.
Oh, for sure.
Damn, it was a good talk, man. I felt good. It was a good one. I actually felt really happy about talking about my comic books and stuff.
No, it is. It's you could talk about it for we could have like 40 episodes just talking about
just comic book stuff.
Just talking about a certain comic, you know, because the Spider-Man universe is big itself. X-Men is big itself. The Hulk, Thor, they all have their own universe that is big that you
maybe we get a podcast going just talking about
certain characters,
just going into the backstories
and then like DC, Batman, you know, Green Lantern has their own story. You know, it's too big.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's too big. We can't get it all in 1 hour, but. Yeah, well, thank you for coming on the Everything Goes podcast.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for having me.
It was good having you back on, man. We gotta get you back on more often because you were a big part of it at the beginning. I haven't had you over a year now or something like that.
Yeah,
it's about a year or something.
A few months.
Yeah, a couple months. Yeah,
since last year we could say.
Yes, I think the last time we had you was a comic book one. Wasn't it the Endgame one?
The Endgame one, yeah.
That was a big one.
Yeah, that's the last one I was in.
That was a big one, bro.
Yeah,
that one got a lot of lessons, dude.
Yeah.
Even on my Instagram account, I was like, God damn. Yeah. So yeah, man. Well, thank you for coming on. So, hey guys. So if you guys like, share. You guys always catch us on the Everything Goes podcast on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Leave a message. Leave something there for us, and we'll get back to you. And remember, you guys catch us on Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Stitcher, Spotify, and anywhere you guys get your podcasting listening on. And that's it, guys. And we'll catch you guys next week. Peace.
Later.